Hi, this is Sally's Book Talk. Tune in daily for global literary gems carpeted just for you. Today we'll explore the book Asterisk. How to Think. Straight about psychology asterisk. In daily life, the term psychology isn't unfamiliar to us. Most people learn psychology through popular books and TV programs. Common psychology books fall into three categories. First, early foundational works. Second category, most contain self-help, fluff, repackaging old cliches. Third category disguises pseudoscience as psychology, filled with psychic phenomena like telepathy or psychokinesis. Radio and TV content tends to be worse. Despite numerous psychology-themed shows, they're far from legitimate psychological science. Yet many believe these sources offer genuine psychological insight. In reality, most are pseudo-scientific imposters. So how do we distinguish real psychology from pseudoscience? Asterisk. How to think straight about psychology. Asterisk teaches scientific discernment skills. It empowers readers to analyze psychological phenomena scientifically. These critical thinking skills combat all pseudoscience, not just psychological, thus serving as exceptional philosophy of science literature. Author Keith Stanovich holds Canada Research Chair at University of Toronto. This authoritative text is adopted by 300+ psychology programs globally. Let's examine Stanovich criteria for identifying pseudoscience. Fundamentally, psychology is data-driven behavioral science. 4 key standards emerge from this principle. First, psychological claims must withstand empirical verification. A key distinction between pseudoscientists and genuine researchers lies in their publication channels. Pseudoscientists often bypass academic journals to announce findings through media. When suspecting the claim's validity, the gold standard remains whether it passed peer-reviewed journal scrutiny. Peer review means every journal submission gets evaluated by multiple experts before editorial publication decisions. Many submissions get rejected due to flaws or limited scientific value. Some require additional experiments or statistical analysis before publication. Remember, peer review is the baseline standard, not a guarantee of absolute correctness. Journal quality varies significantly across publications. Any theory or therapy lacking peer-reviewed documentation should raise red flags. Examples like hypnosis for weight loss or sleep learning languages exemplify such pseudoscience. These popular myths vanish under proper scientific scrutiny. This critical approach applies beyond science to folk, wisdom, and proverbs. Conflicting proverbs like, "Look before you leap," vs. "Strike while the iron's hot," reveal contradictions. Emotional predictions, like absence, makes the heart grow fonder, versus out of sight, out of mind, similarly conflict. We often misuse such sayings as post hoc explanations for life events. Psychological research disproves many common beliefs.
The myth that book-smart children lack social, athletic skills persists, despite evidence.
Data shows academically inclined individuals often have better physical health and social engagement. High-achieving students generally enjoy better peer acceptance than underachievers. That's why psychological knowledge must be publicly verifiable, the first standard for identifying pseudoscience. All right, let's move to the second criterion. Psychological concepts require operational definitions and falsifiable theories. What does operational definition mean? It means linking abstract concepts to observable measurements. Defining hunger as stomach discomfort isn't operational, it's subjective experience. Operational definitions use measurable indicators like fasting duration or blood sugar levels. These objective measurements allow universal verification. Scientific concepts involve more complex operational definitions than hunger. Now, what makes theories falsifiable? This puzzles many. If science seeks truth, why require disprovability? Science progresses through error, correction. Revising theories when data contradicts them demonstrates scientific strength. Danger lies in theories avoiding empirical testing. Vague theories either say nothing meaningful or make mystical claims. Scientific theories must make precise predictions about reality. Let's explain falsifiability through a door-knocking example. My colleague claimed to identify people through knocking patterns. First prediction: a woman is knocking. The student was female. 50% probability made this unremarkable. Second prediction specified: male under 22. The door revealed a recent high school graduate, statistically improbable. Most students here are over 22, making this prediction significant. I maintained that young males were common on campus. Third prediction: female, 30 years old, 165 centimeters tall, holding books in left hand with a shoulder bag, knocking with right hand. Reality matched his prediction perfectly when I opened the door. I was completely astonished. Each increasingly specific prediction amplified my amazement. More specific predictions create more potential falsification points. Had the second visitor been over 22, the prediction would have failed. A 170 centimeters height in third case would also disprove the theory. This is falsifiability. Predicting someone under 100 is meaningless pseudoscience with low falsifiability. Astrology exemplifies this through vague predictions. Like, Taurus should watch health in July. Cancer students will have good academic luck in September. Untestable claims. Such statements resist proper verification through operational definitions. Let's recap psychology's second authenticity standard. Genuine psychology requires operational concepts and falsifiable theories. Now to the third criterion. Personal testimonies hold no scientific value. What constitutes personal testimony? TV psychologists often present case studies matching their theories. They'll claim, I treated a case that perfectly fits my approach. But isolated success stories lack comparative control groups. Why are personal testimonies unreliable? Primarily due to placebo effects, placebo effect, improvement from treatment, expectation rather than actual efficacy. This effect ensures some perceived success for any treatment given to large groups, thus making personal testimony scientifically worthless as evidence. Imagine an ad claiming their rubber mallet can energize you through morning head tapping. Some users would report benefits.
This explains why health scams successfully target elderly populations. Placebo effects convince some seniors to promote ineffective products through personal testimonials.
Why are personal testimonies so prevalent and persuasive? Vivid personal stories override statistical evidence in human cognition. When car shopping, I studied professional reports analyzing thousands of consumer surveys. Research convinced me to choose brand A vehicles. Automotive experts' recommendations further solidified my decision, until a friend shared his brand a lemon car experience at a party. His negative testimony instantly changed my purchase decision. Similar cognitive biases affect various decisions. Post 9/11s, air travel decreased, while statistically deadlier road travel increased. Driving became preferred despite being objectively more dangerous. Statistics showed increased fatalities from transportation mode shifts.
Over 300 additional road deaths occurred in December 2001 alone.
This demonstrates personal anecdotes, dangerous persuasiveness. Yet such testimonies often lack scientific validity. We must overcome seeing disbelieving bias. Complex social phenomena require statistical analysis. All right, final standard. Establishing causality requires rigorous analysis of complex relationships.
In early 20th century, America pellagra killed 100,000 Southerners annually.
The mainstream theory blamed sewage-borne microorganisms and poor sanitation. Dr. Joseph Goldberger challenged this infectious disease hypothesis. He proposed nutritional deficiency as the real cause, specifically niacin shortage.
The Southern poverty diet, heavy in cornmeal, lacked essential proteins.
Goldberger needed revolutionary proof for his nutritional theory. First, disproving contagion through extreme self-experimentation. He created pills from patients' scabs and bodily fluids. Goldberger, his assistants and wife, consumed these pills without contracting pellagra. Next, proving dietary connection through controlled prison experiments. 2 groups of Mississippi prisoners volunteered for dietary studies. Group 1 received high carbohydrate, low protein corn-based diet. Control group received balanced nutrition including meat and vegetables.
After 5 months, pellagra developed exclusively in malnourished group.
This demonstrates correlation, not equal causation principle. Poor sanitation areas showed higher pellagra rates. But why? Both sanitation and disease were linked to third variable, poverty diet. The sewage disease correlation was spurious. Spurious correlations often arise from selection bias. Education, quality, debates illustrate this statistical pitfall. While teacher salaries and class size correlate with outcomes, third variables, like district funding, often explain the relationship, yet some still argue there's no connection. Their evidence: high teacher salaries correlate with low SAT scores across U.S. states. Some states with lowest teacher salaries report highest SAT scores. Superficial analysis suggests no correlation between salaries and scores. This apparent paradox stems from selection, bias in data interpretation. Region A outperforms Region B academically, despite lower teacher pay. Does this indicate better education quality? Objective metrics actually show Region B's superior educational infrastructure. How then to explain the test score discrepancy? Selection bias occurs because only college-bound students take SAT exams. Higher education states have broader SAT participation rates. Low participation states 4% in A vs 47% in B skew average scores upward through self-selection. Thus, AT averages become unreliable indicators of actual educational quality. How then to establish true causation scientifically? Consider the historical investigation of cholera's cause. 1850s. Medical consensus attributed cholera to miasma from patient's breath. John Snow hypothesized waterborne transmission through contaminated supplies. How to validate this revolutionary claim? London's neighborhood specific water providers created natural experiment conditions. But socioeconomic variables complicated direct comparisons between districts. Snow ingeniously isolated variables using unique water supply conditions. Two water companies served adjacent houses in South London. Neighboring homes received water from different suppliers. Snow selected households with matching socioeconomic status. One company relocated upstream after cholera outbreaks. The other remained downstream near sewage outlets. Upstream saw significantly reduced contamination risk. Mortality data: 37 vs 315 deaths per 10,000 households. This conclusively proved contaminated water caused cholera. Thus, establishing causality becomes psychology's fourth authenticity standard. Stanovich, 4 criteria for identifying pseudoscience. 1. Publicly verifiable knowledge through peer review. 2. Omerale definitions and falsifiable theories. 3. Rejecting anecdotal evidence. 4. Rigorous causal analysis. Mastering these criteria develops scientific discernment skills. The book also warns against isolated scientific claims. Warning 1. Reject therapies unconnected to existing scientific knowledge. Sensational headlines like California scientist discovered death. Delay method mislead. Media favors revolutionary breakthrough narratives over incremental science. True scientific progress integrates with existing knowledge systems. New theories must explain both novel findings and established facts. Pseudoscience exploits this by dismissing existing data as outdated or irrelevant. Second warning: human behavior has multiple determinants. Consider this infant study comparing suboptimal perinatal cases with normal births. Infants were randomly assigned to experimental and control groups. Post-birth, The experimental group received special intervention to prevent mild cognitive delays. At age 4, cognitive assessments revealed crucial findings. Intervention eliminated cognitive gaps between high-risk and normal infants.
Untreated high-risk infants showed developmental lags.
This demonstrates nature-nurture interaction in cognitive development. Environmental factors crucially affect biological predispositions. Third warning. Scientific conclusions are probabilistic. Question. Are men taller than women? Most answer yes, which is statistically correct. Question. Are all men taller than all women? Obviously, no exceptions exist. Scientific claims describe trends, not absolutes. Medical conclusions follow similar probabilistic patterns. Smoking increases lung cancer risk, a statistical reality. But smokers cite exceptions. Old Wang smoked 3 packs daily till 80.
This reflects misunderstanding of statistical evidence.
Demanding 100% consistency misunderstands scientific principles. Even strong correlations allow occasional outliers. Studies show only 5% of people reaching 85 are smokers.
This demonstrates smoking significantly reduces lifespan.
Exceptions exist, highlighting the need for probabilistic thinking in complex societies. Financial analysts often create elaborate narratives for stock fluctuations. Most market movements are random variations in reality. They mistakenly believe they can predict and control market patterns. Now let's summarize the book's core arguments. Criterion 1. Psychology is empirical science with falsifiable theories. Criterion 2. O or mole definitions. Enabling. Criterion 3. Peer-reviewed publication as scientific validation. Criterion 4. Systematic experimental replication and critique. Warning 1. Authentic psychology connects with broader science. Warning 2. Multiple determinants shape human behavior. Warning 3. Behavioral patterns are probabilistic relationships. This concludes our analysis of Asterisk, How to Think. Straight about psychology Asterisk. Find keynotes below the audio. See you tomorrow.